kicking things off the right way, man. Starting from the lounge and, coming out of the lounge. So I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my darling co-host, Miss Tifflebot. How are you this week, Tiff?
I am very excited to be here, and I'm taking this opportunity to let everyone out there in video land know that this is our second attempt at the opening because we forgot to record. This is a special video opening.
Yeah, so the
only exclusive video content right here.
The audio and the video intro are completely different. So,
holy
man.
Shit.
I know it's the first time we did this, but I'm just like, F it. I ain't recording all that over again.
No. But you guys should check out both and then compare us. And then let us know what you think and make us feel bad about ourselves.
Indeed, man. So we got a pretty decent show going this week. We went to the movies, man. We risked life and limb to go see Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch and Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is the Funky Bunch.
He's the Funky Bunch. And he's actually too good for the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, you know what? He was... we'll talk about it, but
so they doing Uncharted, a video game movie, and I'm really interested to talk about this, even though I've never played the game. But I did my research. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't.
Yeah, that exclusive content really kicks you.
Yeah. So, man, also we have Marvel news and we have Nick Cage news. Marvel news and Nick Cage news. So that's some good shit, man.
Same week every week. Marvel news, Nick Cage news. What are both of our favorite things doing?
Right. So also, man, action adventure, man. We have a game. Facts on Patrol is back with a full trivia, adventure game, man. So
can't wait to lose.
Well, here she go. We'll see, right? Because what she is gonna do and what I'm gonna do is gonna be like, boom. We probably been sitting here with bagels apiece.
I'm very excited to see if we not the same questions,
right.
potentially the same movies.
Could be.
Yeah.
We're individuals, so we're
individuals. We are not one entity, one omnipotent godlike entity.
Oh, it would be nice. Don't get me wrong.
That's why I know all the Marvel news. I'm inside everyone's brain.
So that's gonna be it, man. Oh, after the show, man, you can walk your little self over there to the Patreon, man, because we're doing the original Lara Croft Tomb Raider, man. To go with the in the jungle, in the bushes, action adventure type of thing, man. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, get on over there. And for all them Patreon subscribers, thank y'all. Y'all are the shit. Thank you. Anyway, so saying all that groovy stuff, Tiff, are you ready to roll?
Absolutely.
Let's go. All right, man. We have returned. It's time to get the social media out of the way, and then we can get to all the important stuff. Tiff, take it away.
For everything Fans of Patrol, go to fansofpatrol.com. That's our main website. And you can email us there at fans@fansofpatrol.com. And then you can get us on our socials at Fans of Patrol on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please check out our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube where you can see all of this. And listen to us on your favorite listening platform. I really shouldn't have done that to myself. You know what I mean? I was like, this is gonna be really funny, and then I was like, I guess I think I'm funny, and then that made me embarrassed, which was really there was a lot going on in that 30 seconds.
It's all good, Tifflebot. So, man, these are your notes. What do we have?
Sure. I thought it was a little bit of a dry news week. I mean, I know there's like stuff happening, but it wasn't like anything we hadn't already talked about. So this is a very small casting news. So the This Is Us actress, Lyric Ross, is going to be in the Ironheart movie or show.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
She's the best friend. She's going to be RiRi's best friend.
Okay.
And this is like the most other significant casting news. It's like the third. You know what I mean? Like the third character. I really like her. I think she's super cute, and I think she's going to be great. I just don't really know. This is like, I haven't really heard much about this movie.
Well, it's a show. It's a TV show. Us, right. So,
I know it's a show. It's kind of my brain is not working.
Right. Well, when they announced this, I didn't think they were ever going to do it. You know how stuff pops up and then it goes away. You never hear from it again. So many shows out there like that. So, with a dead Iron Man in the universe, perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let RiRi take over and do her thing until you guys decide to reboot the whole universe, which is coming. One day it's going to happen.
I hate to break it to everyone listening, but someday it's gonna have to happen. Someday the sun's gonna explode. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like the same people can keep doing this shit for fucking ever, people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, and I was kind of thinking now that you said that, potentially this is taking a little bit longer because we're entering in that interim period where they are gonna do the swap, or there's that
Right.
like storytelling that leads to the next phase.
Especially when you guys are killing off characters, and you're killing off characters for the sake of people's contracts. I mean, there was no good reason. Honestly, I think even to this day to get rid of your biggest two characters in your franchise, they could have went back to doing solo movies. Because the comic books have been doing it for years. And killing off characters is a fairly recent thing in comic book history. They didn't used to do that shit. It was,
Yeah, it was more like every week you're joining us for an adventure kind of stuff.
All right, and as long as you keep it on that tip, then you don't really have to worry about, oh, nothing ever happens. He's not in peril. Well, you're writing on them so they are in peril, and which is fine with me. But one day I think they're gonna reboot it. But anyway, so you got RiRi coming into this thing. Now this is Us actress. Did she play one of the kids or something on that show or something?
I think she's somebody's wife. I've never watched it.
She's the wife of a. Okay, I have watched it. It's because I was like, she's too old to be her friend, unless because, the wife I thought was a little older than this. So anyway,
I don't know. Maybe she is here's the thing. That show. Here's what I think I know about that show.
Mhm.
It's okay. You tell me. Have you seen the show?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Here's what I think happens. Right. There's a family.
Yeah.
And they have triplets, and
Yeah.
one of the triplets doesn't make it. And at the same time, there's a baby that needs to be adopted at the hospital. So they go home with 3 babies, one of which is adopted.
Right.
Then the mom dies.
No.
Damn it.
The dad died.
Oh. So I was like, somebody dies.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Look at me go. Okay. He dies. And then it's just a boring family drama about what happens in families.
Well, no. So this family
Montego loves it. So he's like, absolutely.
No. I don't watch the show. My wife and my
Okay.
kid watches the show like religiously. And
Okay.
so it had been time when I was like walking through the house, like a Muppet, and like, what's this bullshit? And I'm like,
Oh, you did that little Muppet walk. It looked just like a Muppet.
and then I would get sucked in, like super sucked in. I'm like sitting there like choked up and shit, like, and let me get the hell out of here.
I have heard it's very emotional.
Oh yes, and see, Sterling K. Brown plays he plays the adult, kid that they adopted, and so it's a flashback show, so it's always going from,
so it's like current times and then different times throughout their childhood, like youth, teenagers, blah blah blah.
Exactly, and so it's really well done, and it's popular for a reason. And so,
hey, I wasn't shooting on it. Nobody come after me for not liking it. I've never seen it.
So what's this girl's name in this? Just gonna be RiRi's friend. What's her name?
We got so excited about that. I totally lost my. What's the name of the character or the name of this person?
It's not Susan Watson, is it?
Blah blah blah.
That's the wife on the show. So
this is so hard to read. It's just got a bunch of fucking garbage.
It's Lyric Ross. Okay, so
yes, that's her name, but I thought you want to know who she was playing. The name of the character.
No. I just wanted to know the name of the actress because I knew it was not the wife. So she's gonna be on a show. I never read any RiRi. Yeah, I did.
We did too. We read some for the show.
Yeah, we sure did, and
it was good. I mean, it's
started. Yeah,
it's good. If you like superhero comics, it's a good superhero comic.
Yeah, and just throwing that character into the Marvel fray as being one of the most powerful people in there. Taking on the Iron Mantle. In the comic book, her AI was Tony Stark, which was kind of dope.
You're right. I remember that.
That was pretty sweet. So I'm looking forward to RiRi, man, just for a number of reasons. Just please don't be like that DC show. I've been watching Naomi. It's a CW show. It's a black superheroes. That one with Ava DuVernay was doing.
Not good.
It's
that
just
stinks.
It's heavy duty CW. I mean,
it's too CW for you. That's intense.
Well, Yeah, well, I'm kind of outgrowing the CW stuff. I watched the Flash.
Oh, finally.
Let me finish.
You're so young.
Let me finish. I watched the Flash because just loyalty is, but it's not good. But the Superman show, Superman and Lois, that show is it's look, it's one of my faves. I love it, man. So they can just keep going, but it's very un-CW-ish.
Right.
They don't follow that same path and stuff like they had been doing. And so I'm looking forward to anything Marvel on Disney Plus. I have not been disappointed, even when I thought I was going to be disappointed with Wanda and Vision. I thought I was going to be disappointed. Turned out I wasn't. I really thought I was going to be disappointed with Hawkeye with the first 2 episodes, but then it really turned around and got really good. And so more of this. That's all I keep saying. Just more of this. And we got a lot of good shit to look forward to with Marvel. And it seems like they're kind of slowing down with just throwing shit out there, so which is good. So
yeah, it makes me think that something's because they're going to do this phase, and then I think that another kind of onslaught of like when they were like Loki, Winter Soldier, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of announcements, and now there's slower.
And they're truly using the shows for just passing the story to the next section. They're like, here we're gonna okay now. We'll do this, like they
so they do that. Well, that's what they do best is a lot of world building.
Yeah, exactly. Just like in the comics. So man, this is cool news. What else we got?
So fans of Patrol favorite, Nick Cage.
Nick Cage
is doing more bizarre shit.
I should make him a Nick Cage sound drop somewhere in there. Like he should
you need to have one. We need to get a sound Stop. So, okay, I want to talk about this movie. It's called Renfield, okay? And it's a movie in which Nicolas Cage plays Dracula.
Dracula.
And this is about one of his assistants who worships him and like whatever, but he's never made into a vampire. This is like it's a Guillermo situation.
Oh, poor Guillermo.
So here's my thing. It's basically, so here's what it says. Basically, he wants to be a vampire and he wasn't made a vampire. It's a horror comedy, blah, 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 blah. How is this not exactly like what we do in the Listen, I want to watch this. I'm going to watch this. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Of course.
But it's exactly like what we do in the shadows. How?
Yeah.
Which came first? Does it matter? Are they actually different? Is anybody trying to swoop in on something? Here's the thing. Creation obviously doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Right? We're all creatures. We've all consumed the things and they influence us or
yes.
Impact us. But also sometimes if you put 2 people in a room, right?
Yes.
For 1,000,000 years, it's like kind of like a monkey in a typewriter situation, right? They'd have Shakespeare.
Have shared ideas and shared thoughts.
Right. You would if they had the similar experiences, eventually they would produce probably many things that were similar, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. So I'm always confused when people are like, "Oh, that's exactly like this." I'm like, "Yeah, everything's exactly like something else, man."
Yeah. So I'm not worried about that. Different interpretations. What we do in the shadows has such a specific footprint that if you go too close to that, then you're really going to humiliate yourself as a creative entity. So they probably they probably would really go hard on making sure that there's what they're doing is specific to what they're doing. And then, we'll see. Nicolas Cage can do some garbage. He can do some good stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Right. And so just like right up his wheelhouse, what would be the second time he's playing a vampire. Please do not eat a cockroach for shock value like you did with the first one.
Eat 2 cockroaches.
Oh, man, he ate a cockroach. I'm surprised.
Make them kiss first and then put them in your mouth.
You know what? You got to be crazy as hell, hard up, man, to eat.
Fuck. Do you remember that show? I think it was MTV show called. No. It was. They would just go to people on the street and be like, "I'll give you $20 to eat this bug."
So that's where the internet.
It's similar to Fear Factor. Similar to Fear Factor.
Internet got all of their dumb shit from these early MTV.
Yeah, I do believe that. People who are like oh, the internet makes kids do dumb stuff. I'm like, well, a lot of that stuff we're doing on TV in the
Have you ever seen
2000s.
Jackass? Right. You know how old Jackass is?
If Tide Pods were available in the 1990s, I guarantee kids would eat them, even without the trend.
Speaking of that, I was watching a TV show. I was not a TV show. I was watching a show somewhere, about things that actors, it was like a looper or something about things that actors have eaten on stage. Nick Cage came up and like, Zamo, when he was in Spawn, he ate that pizza that actually had maggots on it. And so many actors and stuff did shit like that, because there was no CGI back in the day. And it was like, y'all crazy as hell. So, I'm not eating no pizza with maggots on it. Like, that was real.
Let me see. Here's the thing. They're getting paid potentially millions of dollars.
I'm not eating maggots for millions.
Maggots for millions.
My favorite new game show. How many
Fuck
maggots?
off! It's terrible. I feel sick. I would also listen. I'm thinking about it because honestly, that does make me feel really nauseous. But in the moment when someone's actually have all that money in front of you,
yeah,
not even probably. I know I would. I love money.
They say
I can always
$1 million pizza full of maggots.
$1 million. I'm doing it. I do it for $100,000.
Oh shit!
Anyway, if anyone has $100,000 and some maggots, hit me up.
I'll do it on YouTube.
I'll do it.
Oh shit!
I'll do it, but you can't tell anybody.
Go back to Dracula. So,
oh yeah, I forgot we were talking about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, so they're talking about this is going to come out in 2023. I was hoping to God it was a trailer for it, something already, something.
I was too. There's a picture. It's not a picture.
Yeah.
So like I was like, oh fuck, man, I want to see it. I was so excited because then I also like Nicholas Hoult, who's also
Nicholas Hoult.
He's he plays Beast in the X-Men movies. The young Beast.
Nicholas Hoult. I like him too. Too. Well, I don't know that bastard. I like this.
He's work. A great person. He's a really nice guy. That's my favorite thing people say about celebrities. Oh, they seem really nice. I'm like, one, you don't know them. Two, they're actors.
Yeah. One thing
they seem really nice.
Oh shoot! So the con, another segue, not segue. The con is coming back to Cleveland, and they contacted me about press stuff, and they got all these people coming because it's a brand new con. So I need to do that. I thought about that because some of the people that I have met at the cons, that we have done interviews for, never met an asshole. Seen assholes. They're there. The people who I have not interviewed. But everybody I have interviewed were, seemed very, very, very genuine. Every interview we had, and so that's nice because
I think you've interviewed a lot of people who are definitely notable, but also who have had points in their career or in points in their career where like you are like, I'm thankful for what I've got to, for what I've gotten to be. To do. And some people aren't at that point or haven't had that revelation yet.
Yeah. The only sketchy one I think I interviewed was Kevin Sorbo, because who was so nice to me, but then
he turned out to be a piece of shit.
Afterwards, I found out all the shit he had been running his mouth about, and I was like, oh wow. Well, he didn't treat me like an N-word, but
but he was a racist.
Yeah, that's what I hear. He was very nice and cordial. And very fun when we did our interview. I mean,
I remember that happened, I think, in pretty quick succession. You're like, I interviewed Kevin Sorbo.
I was like, I interviewed
Hercules. 2 weeks later, it's like, Hercules is a racist.
Really? I ain't never heard that shit before.
We all said that. We're like, what?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
He was cool. I tell you somebody who I didn't interview that I wanted to interview that I'm glad I haven't, and that was Dean Cain, who was very nice in person and stuff, but
Dean, yeah, okay.
He's super on the other side of the fence, man. It's just like, damn, dude, you're Superman. Shut the hell up and just be majestic.
Just be Superman. Superman.
Anyway, man, what the hell are we talking about? We're back. So that's it. Man. That's for the news, that's the news. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna get our shit together for this game, man, because we ain't had a game in a while. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna Tiff is doing all these gang signs.
I did a thumbs down. The classic gang sign of a thumbs down. Jesus, Mary, Joseph. I was Jesus.
What's that you claiming, Tiff? What's that you claiming?
I think I did an okay sign.
Like Iowa for life. Iowa.
How do you make your hand look like a piece of corn?
Okay, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna be right back. Oh, this shit is good. All right, man. It's been a while. We haven't had a game in a little bit because we've had good shit to talk about, one shots and things like that. If this is one of your first times listening to our show, thank you so much for checking us out, man. We love you. Sit down and enjoy. We do different stuff in this middle section. We like to pick and choose. We do one shots, which is just checking out, this show or that show and, talking about it. We like to do trivia. We like to do all kind of stuff. And so we haven't had a game in a while. So I'm excited, man. So ha. So this is Facts on Patrol. So, and this is also Tiff's game. So I'm going to be quiet and let her take over.
Oh, am I asking first or are you asking me first?
Well, you need to explain the rules to the people,
Oh, okay. So this is a pretty basic trivia game. If there's more than the two of us, we would have one person read and have the two challenge. But since there's only two of us, I will be reading 4 questions and Montego will be reading 4 questions. And whoever answers the most correctly is the winner.
We worked it out, y'all. It took us a while to figure out that simple ass concept.
Yeah. Like, how is this going to work? I don't know. We could each do some of it.
I don't
know. So this is, as Montego said at the top of the show, adventure movies. Questions about adventure movies. So actually, I think I will ask you the first question. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm gonna fire away.
Okay. In no particular order of hardness, right? I don't order them by how difficult they are.
Right.
Can you tell me the character's name, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's character name in Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle?
Was it Dr. Smolder?
You know what?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna give it to you. I was looking for the full name, and I did not think you were gonna get it, but because they only say it once. But he's Dr. Smolder Bravestone.
Bravestone.
I can't believe that you fucking remembered that first name. That fucking kills me. Okay, that's worth a point anyway.
Yeah, you see that?
That was you guys. It was almost anticlimactic in how climactic it was. All right.
Bully for me. Okay. So,
all right.
Chefobot.
Professional, yeah.
In the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the opening sequence starts in what country, continent?
That's rude. I don't know.
Up. There is multiple choice.
Sure. Ask me multiple choice.
Is it A, Africa, Zaire? Is it B, Egypt, Africa? Is it C, Nepal, Asia? Or is it D, South America, Peru?
Here's the thing. Yeah. I've seen these movies many times.
Exactly. You're right.
I don't know anything about anything. I'm going to say South America, Peru.
Woo! And you hit it on the head.
Right? Okay, is that the one where they eat the monkey brains and everything?
No. That's India. And that's the second movie.
See, I don't remember any. Didn't even know what I was fucking talking about.
The South America, that's where.
What are they doing there?
They're in a temple. That's where the ball.
They're always in a temple. What do you fucking mean?
The ball.
Oh.
And then
I like how your first explanation of this movie to help me differentiate between which one it was for you to say it's in a temple instead of it's the one where the ball rolls at him.
Yeah. And then the natives are outside and they're chasing them and shit to the plane. So,
I really like these movies. I just don't remember anything about them.
See, I would think that you would remember, but anyway. But
yeah, you know what, you guys? As soon as the information becomes useless to me, I just flush it out like a turd.
Yeah, you guessed right. There you go. And I'm not a jerk. All of those places were in that movie. So. Yeah. I'm
not a jerk. I thought you were gonna say all of those places are real, and I was like, "What?
What?
Yeah."
No, they were all actually in the movie. So
okay, that all was nice of you. I didn't give you any multiple choice, so I'm an asshole.
So my next question:
Sorry, I got really invested in what was going on there. So your question is,
Mhm.
what do they add to the back of the Declaration of Independence to reveal the secret message?
Oh God!
Oh, and National Treasure, in case
I've only
anyone didn't know
seen
what I was
National
talking
Treasure
about.
one time. I've only seen it
But I
one.
thought you liked that movie. That's kind of why I put this question
No, no,
in
no.
here.
I do like the movie, but I only saw it one time.
Okay, well, do you remember what they put on it?
What they put in it?
What they put on it to
They put
reveal it?
they put a ugh, they put a hidden they put a hidden symbol on it.
I don't know. They put lemon juice on it.
Shit.
Remember
Shit.
that?
Shit.
Now that I say that, you're like, I do remember that.
I don't remember it. I
You
don't.
don't?
I've only seen
Is
the
it
movie
like
one
it's
time.
like okay. Anyway,
I saw it one time I was in college. It was Disney. I barely watched movies, and when I was in college, and
huh.
I watched this and I was like, oh, it's trying to be like Indiana Jones, but keep it based in America. It's cool. And I enjoyed it. But I saw the second one too. But I just never got into it. And I should. It's a Montego movie, 100%.
Yeah, it does strike me as particularly you.
And Nick Cage. What the hell?
And Nick Cage. Anyway.
Yeah. Damn it. You're gonna make me watch National Treasure today. That's for sure.
I gotta go, everybody.
Oh.
Got something to do.
Your next question.
Yeah, please.
In 2017, Jumanji, name 2 of the new cast adventurers. It could be the video game name or the kid's name. Just 2.
Well, I have one right here. It's Smolder Bravestone.
That's 1. I need 2. That's
Ruby Roundhouse.
God damn it. God damn it. Okay.
Ruby Roundhouse, of course.
Very, very good, Tipplebot. Very good.
Oh, look at me. That felt a little like cheating.
No, that's how.
But how did you look down there and get your own answer, man?
I didn't, but I wrote the question, so
I know. So good job, everyone. We all know who's in Jumanji.
Yeah. I thought you would have said Bethany.
I've probably forgotten a lot of like.
You remember Bethany? That's
I remember Bethany.
She's like my favorite character in there.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember any of high school math, but
Professor Shell.
Let me name all the people in Jumanji.
Yeah, ask me to do some algebra, right?
Well, in Jumanji, could you fucking imagine? Okay, your next question.
My next question.
Your next question.
Ready.
In the Rocketeer.
God damn it. You always asking me something about the goddamn Rocketeer.
You're always asking me the goddamn Rocketeer. Well, you're not going to get this then. You're not going to get it.
What is it? Fire away.
In the... always asking me about it. I'm sorry. My phone like locked because I'm an idiot. And now I'm trying to open it.
No, right.
In the Rocketeer, Terry O'Quinn plays what historical figure?
God damn it.
And Terry O'Quinn is a man, just FYI.
That's the guy that's played by James Bond, I think. I have no idea. Adolf Hitler? Who knows?
I mean, fair. I like that assumption based on the time period. I think it's a really good answer. It's wrong.
Of course.
It's 100% wrong, but it's a very good answer. And the answer is Howard Hughes.
Oh shit! I've seen that movie one time.
Yeah,
one time.
And honestly, why would you remember
that? Yeah. One time I saw that movie.
Whew,
and
okay.
It was okay when I saw it.
I used to really like it as a kid, and I think I tried to watch it when I was older. And when I was older, I was like, it's kind of boring, which is funny because kids can't tolerate boring shit. But as a kid, I loved that movie, boring as shit. And you know what my favorite movie as a kid was? The Man from Snowy River.
The hell is that?
Yeah, a boring ass movie is what it is.
Well, pacing of movies was different back then. You didn't have to flash and boom and all that shit. Like you do now. So
we were nuanced. We were nuanced in the 90s.
That's right. Simple question here.
Mm-hmm.
The 2016 Jungle Book live action was directed by whom? It's a good question.
I feel like I feel like maybe this information is somewhere in my mind.
It's yeah. Once you find out, you're gonna be like,
but I have no idea.
Jon Favreau.
Well, fine then.
Yeah.
Was anybody keeping score? Because I wasn't.
You got the shit. You destroyed both of my questions, 1 and 2. I
Oh,
got
but
one of yours. That's it. I got 1 point right now.
there's still time for you
Yes,
because this is your last question.
Oh, damn it.
Where does Goonies take place?
Maine. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
No,
All right, so you're gonna.
that's my answer, man. Maine.
No, you can try. You can try again. You probably still won't get it, but you can certainly try again.
I don't know. Somewhere out of shit. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Connecticut, Boston. I don't know. I thought it was Maine.
You know what? Because it's Oregon.
I couldn't have been more wrong. God damn.
But there's like a similar, like foggy, foresty, wet vibe. It's a wet vibe.
Maine and Oregon, you're right. Same place, just different sides of the country.
Yes, yeah. Right. There's kind of got like their whole like. I feel like you might see a crab somewhere. No. This is not
people by Maine. Like you fuckers.
They're not the same. I'm just saying that like there's like, it's got a nice coastal vibe.
I always thought that was. I never knew it was West Coast. I always thought it was Maine. Wow. I genuinely believe that. So I lost. But your last question.
Woo!
In the 1999 Mummy, name at least three of the plagues unleashed by the creature. Good question, right? That's a good question.
Beatles?
No.
Yeah, the Beatles came out.
They weren't Beatles. They weren't a plague.
Scarabs?
Beatles? Nope. That wasn't a plague.
That wasn't part of it? Okay, fine. Plague. Whatever. It is a frog. Sure, I'll say frog.
There was one. Yeah. Because there's actual
locusts.
There you go. That's 2. But you already,
blood.
I
don't know. Right. I don't know.
No, you're right. That was it.
Yes. I don't care if I was like, doesn't matter. I already won. Now you also know that I'm smart.
Yeah.
I'm mummy smart. Okay. Everybody in that movie is fucking hot as shit. Brendan Fraser never looked better. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Second one stinks out fucking loud.
And the third one shouldn't even be mentioned, in good company. So there were 10 plagues, of course, from the Bible, pestilence. But the only ones that made it in the movie was boils, locusts, blood, frogs, fiery hell, and darkness. And then they left out death of the firstborn. That made no sense. Wild animals and pestilence and lice. That didn't make it in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
everyone's favorite, a little bit of lice.
You did an excellent job. Play that goddamn funky music, Montego.
You guys, here's the thing. I never usually win. My brain is a dumpster. Okay. I do know a lot of things, and
you did good.
But I can't believe it. Apparently, this is my niche. I always thought that other things like horror, I always do really bad at horror. I've seen a lot of it. But then eventually I'm like, I don't really watch that many. I'm like, is this, and this?
Okay. Are you cleaning up?
Ruby Roadhouse.
Yes, indeed.
Holy shit.
Excellent job, Tipper.
Really wow. Funny.
Damn, I got my cheeks beat. Anyway, that's going to do it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. See you in a minute. This is it, man. Main topic time. Uncharted, man. Folks have been like clamoring for this release, man. Even
when was it supposed to come out? Because I feel like it was supposed to come out in 2020.
Like I thought it was supposed to come out like 6 years ago. Man.
So man, I feel like it's been.
Yeah, and I'm so jealous because I don't have a PS3, a PS5, and I want one. I haven't bought one. I bought a brand new Xbox around Christmas. Well, I didn't. My wife did. But I've been saying I want a PlayStation because they got so many sweet exclusive games like Uncharted and The Last of Us and Spider-Man and things like that I want to play. So this is one of these games I've always wanted to play, and I've always watched E3 and the playthroughs, Sully, Jake, always wanted to play it. Mm-hmm. Never played it one time. But they finally came out with this movie, 2022, PG-13, 1 hour, 56 minutes action adventure. Ruben Fleischer is the director of this thing. So street smart Nathan Drake, man, which is it's funny. That's a household name, right? And I never played the game. Nathan Drake is recruited by a seasoned treasure hunter, Victor Sullivan, to recover a fortune amassed by Ferdinand Magellan and lost 500 years ago by the House of McCabe. So that's the synopsis. Tips, who the hell is in this movie?
All right. So obviously Tom Holland is in this movie.
Tom Holland. Go ahead.
Thomas Holland. Marcus Wahlberg.
Marcus Wahlberg.
Marcus Wahlberg. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, Antonio Banderas.
Who I love. I love Antonio Banderas.
I do too. I saw him. I was like, oh, there he is.
I just want to all behind and say, you can have my draws too.
He's so handsome. I mean, he also like is one of those people that like. It's not like he stopped aging at 30, but I feel like he kind of stopped aging at like 45.
And he just keeps getting better, right? You know?
Yeah, I really like him. Sophia Ali.
Yeah.
Tati Gabrielle and Rudy Pankow.
Yeah.
Our main people.
Man. Yeah, those are the main folks there. So, man, before we roll 100%, it is time for one word.
You really do.
Yeah. One word, Tiffabot.
I want to say efficient is sufficient. That's the better word.
Sufficient. Good enough.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying good enough isn't almost even. It's just hard to find the one word, right? So it's like I'm like it does what it came to do.
It's one of those
sufficient.
I was watching this in the theater, like, what the hell? What's my one word? You know, how do I really feel about the
See, and that's how you know that you're watching a really, really good movie is when you're like, well, what one word am I going to say about this?
Well, you know, my one word, I actually thought about a lot. My one word is linear. Okay. I shall explain.
I'm ready.
The story was very linear. The characters were two-dimensional, but not in such a way that I was annoyed and put off. The story, no matter how much they try to surprise you, never did surprise you. I felt like the story was a slave to the story. Finish, move forward, pat, head down that path. Don't take any turns. Just finish the story.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I wasn't like, yeah, I love this, but I wasn't like, this was terrible. But I think the reason why Tom Holland, honestly, is becoming such a phenomenal actor.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the shit that he can do in Spider-Man and then see the stuff that he does in here, and, you know, his ability to be charmed, this little kid looking dude being charming, like as the bartender and stuff. It's just really good. You know, he has a great presence. You know, I used to like Mark Wahlberg until I started really examining him, you know, and then, you know, some of the stuff he's done in the past, everybody got a pass. I'm not holding against him that much. But, you know, all the movies that he's been in when he's always played the tough guy, like he's so borderline Bruce Willis. Right? You know, as being just always a tough guy who don't have to act, it just comes and just, you know, does.
Well, it's very strange you say that.
Uh-huh.
Because when I was watching this film, one of the previews in this movie was a movie in which Mark Wahlberg plays a priest, or he wants to become a Catholic priest.
Really? I didn't see. I don't.
And it's a true story. It's not an action movie or anything. And he is just stinking up that preview. I just never seen anything like it. I really want someone else to watch it to see if maybe I'm wrong.
He's like, I want to be a priest.
You guys, please watch it. I need to know if I'm crazy. Anyway, I kind of get what you're saying. I also don't hate him.
Yeah.
But he isn't like, in my opinion, he has like
right there.
He is, and here's the thing, he's perfect for this movie. That's his dude, man.
Did you think so?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could have. I think he was Mark Wahlberg in this movie.
That's all he was. When I see this, like from all the previews, which was a lot of cutscenes and stuff like that, I always imagine Jake, you know, Sully as being like a, you know, somebody from Perth or something like that. You know, like, good day, mate. You know, I'm gonna do my thing. You know, and I'm gonna get the treasure, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, somebody with a heavy mustache and stuff like that.
Well, you know what's weird?
Uh-huh.
Is that Sorry. In this movie, Tom Holland, who
Mhm.
is British,
Mhm.
has to play kind
An
of
American.
a rough New Jersey kid, right?
Now, Nathan Fillion was the voice of this in the game, correct? Was he the voice? Was he the game person? Nathan.
Uh, all I know is that true?
I just always thought it was Nathan Fillion playing that role. So
I
maybe he
believe
played Sully or something like that. I don't know.
all I know is
Yep.
that the guy who played
Uh-oh.
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on. We
Um,
record.
the guy who I don't think it is, but maybe I'm wrong because the guy who played
Oh,
the
the guy who
voice
played Sully was in the movie.
is in the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, he's in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yes, he was.
He's on the beach. He's a cameo.
Yes, and I saw that. I was like, he must be one of the guys in the movie. And then I did my research and was like, oh shit.
Not the guy who played Sully, the guy who played Nathan, right?
Oh, I thought that was the guy who played Sully, but so maybe I'm wrong. Shit. Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. And you guys, I didn't play the games. I've seen some of them, and I think that they,
You're right. It was Drake. It was the guy. Who played
yes,
Drake.
because he gets out of the water and
Yes.
he's like, I've done that before. And I thought that was actually really a great cameo. That's how you do a cameo, folks. You don't go, hey, everyone, it's me, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey there, true believers.
Everyone's gonna kill me. It's not like I dislike seeing Stan Lee. I'm just saying that, like, I love a cameo of somebody that only a deep cut person would like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I love that. Anyway,
let's
yes.
into spoilers. Spoiler. And let's get into it. So
Okay.
this thing starts, heavily into the video game. So to
Mhm.
me, if the video game people got a problem with this, y'all pieces of shit, because they went overboard trying to appease the video game people. They got the scene with the brothers, he's leaving and giving his brothers the pep talk. He takes off and then they do that face morph, which I like it when they do that. So for sure.
It really did look like him too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, and he's doing his thing, going on his way, going to work. He shows up at the bar. He looks very charming, and he's just doing his thing.
Just cute as a button.
Yeah,
ripped as a washboard. Just like, what's going on there? I felt very strange.
Yeah, he makes me want to go work out. So
I was like, how does a person look like this? He also looks really small when he's in his clothes and then he takes off. I'm like that. Anyway, you guys, don't worry about it.
If you're that little and that thin, it's like
Compact.
Bruce Lee. You work out a little bit and it's gonna go. If you're a bigger fella and you start working out, you got a little meat on you. You still got a lot of work to go. Anyway,
you got a lot of work to do.
So
anyway, yeah,
he's a piece of shit thief. He takes the girls.
I loved that. I mean, here's the thing. I don't always like in movies where they're like, don't worry, he can steal from her because she's kind of a cunt. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never really liked that kind of shit, but I did like that he took it just because it was like, oh, that's a really nice way of establishing the fact that he picked up his brother's characteristics without being like, you're just like your brother.
Yeah. So he steals her bracelet, and then there's Sully that watches the whole thing go down, and
And then, okay, I will say something I don't like about pickpocket movies is that, like, okay, there are a lot of people who are very talented sleight of hand people. In this movie, they do some stuff where, like, okay, he moved, and I was like, okay, he pickpocketed him, and I'm supposed to notice that he did that because he takes the bracelet from him, and that's how they go to the apartment.
See, I didn't see that part,
But later in the movie, the girl that they meet up with, who has the other key, she steals the key, and I'm like, she doesn't even move. I understand
that was bullshit.
Yeah, I understand that there is sleight of hand, but she's not the Flash.
That's some bullshit. She wouldn't even go to him.
I can still see when people move.
So some of that shit like got
right. That's the kind of stuff where you're like,
she didn't even.
You're right. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Movies do not have to be perfect. I'm not asking them to be, but please don't put something in there that you're drawing my attention to it. You want me to see that she was a pickpocket, but you're also drawing my attention to it because it's poorly done.
See, better than that, he bumps into the doorman with the phone in his hand. And I was like, oh, that's a good cover to be like, I'm looking at my phone and I bump into you.
Right.
Took the key, went upstairs, grabbed the stuff.
And here's the thing, that also was not plausible. What they did there, he couldn't have gotten the key, right? However, there was some movement, some action that let me know this is how good he is. You can't see it.
You say you could do
because
that shit. I didn't mess with pickpockets. I used to be in law enforcement. Yes.
no, I'm just saying, yes, it's possible. But what I'm saying
yeah.
is like, that's unlikely, right?
Well, 50-50. So,
But at least he
yeah.
touched him. At least he
Unless you touched
moved.
them. Exactly. You're right. That shit later on in the movie, you was like, what the
Thank God. I thought maybe I was just being a shit.
No,
But
it
I
was
was
like, that's some
stupid
bullshit,
shit.
y'all. Y'all really what did she do? Mesmerize? Anyway,
Yeah.
so he goes upstairs and finds out, he wants him to, he gives him this proposition, and he's like, no, I'm not doing this, whatever. Wakes up the next morning and says, yes, I'm doing this, looks at his brother's, postcards and things like that. So he decides to go on this treasure hunt with him for Magellan. And he's like really, really like into history and things like that. So he wants him to do this job at this auction. Now, I really like this whole auction scene. I really did. He's supposed to turn off the power. They do their research. They get to the place and everything goes wrong. But we start getting introduced to all these nefarious characters at this point, because we get there and Antonio Banderas, does the, do not bid on my family thing or I will kill you. But he didn't say it like that. But he was like, I think he just threatened my life. And then he also meets Braddock, who's, super fine. She's giving him a look. And he's like the only dummy in the room who don't know, how bad all these people are, because he's like this fresh thing. What? How did this fancy you? Or this?
Here's the thing. What I will say about this movie,
straight out of the video game too.
In all good action movies, also, I'm not saying this is. I would say put this on the lower part of good, upper part of average, right? Is that, like you said, the moving plot forward in the same way? I think they did a good job of like, okay, very little downtime exposition. Like they have the scene where they steal the key. They're already in Barcelona.
Yeah, they
were. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you have to like. It's not like they sit on a couch and are like, "Hey, remember your brother?" That stuff does happen, but they do it. It kind of makes sense. I do like that. That's done like during action stuff and other times.
Yeah. So they right. So they steal a thing, and then it's time to go to Barcelona. Let's get the adventure going. They do the old Indiana Jones playing thing in CG, which is I think is a really sweet homage to better filmmaking. Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and I'm like, oh, they're doing that shit. I like that. Makes you think of the old school, movies like that. And they get to Barcelona, and like you said,
this is my favorite part. Well, not the part where she steals it, but when they start looking, they're like, oh, they go in the church and the keys. I do enjoy that.
Yeah. So she does pickpocket him without like the Flash.
Doesn't even move, everybody. Not a single movement. I think she stands for like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she walks away and he goes, she pickpocketed you. I'm like, fucking when?
It was bullshit, Tiffany.
When did it happen? Show me when.
She never moved. But she's
so mad.
The key.
And here's the thing. I went to the COVID movie theater, right? I took my chances. I actually always go to the movie theater because we're there's nobody at the movie theaters here. And it's all up there on the big screen like you begged me to do for you. And you're just making it bigger for me to see that it didn't happen.
Yeah. There was no movement. It shouldn't have happened. Anyway, so
Tom Holland gets horny for her.
Yeah, and she's cute,
She's cute.
She's cute, and I like how Sully is like, leave the booty alone, leave that booty alone, leave this booty alone, and he just don't want to listen, right? But little did he know that Braddock was his old booty, and so he had already made the mistake with this dangerous chick because she's like the worst, and so they do this chase scene through the square and all that stuff. I literally, it got on my nerves. I think it went a little too long through the water, and he just missing. Meets up with her. We're gonna work together. Okay, so we're gonna work together. And he kept telling them, everybody's a piece of shit. Everybody's doing a double cross. Every time there was a double cross Tifflebot, I was like, okay, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't even really feel like a double cross. I was like, oh, this is just logically what I assume would happen.
That's why it was so linear. It was like,
right. Yeah, there was no really. It would be so much more. And there's always, and I guess, to a certain extent, these are kind of formulaic movies where like there's the redemption, the double cross, all this other stuff.
Right.
I will say there was one surprising part of this movie, and it was when they kill Antonio Banderas.
Oh, well, let's get to it. We ain't got there yet.
I'm so sorry. It comes up pretty soon here.
So, so they become I like the scene where they're like drinking all that expensive wine in an apartment and stuff like that. You're
Yes.
like, oh, that's cool. And that's what the movie does really well. It develops characters that's actually really two-dimensional, but it gets you to the point that you're like, you know, I dig that. She's a piece of shit, but I understand what's happening. One thing, because they're so two-dimensional, they really don't let you get invested in them that heavily. You're just like, you kind of know what's gonna happen, you
I
know?
will also say that, like, even the brother thing,
Yeah.
it has have some poignancy, but they don't linger on it very long. They
They
don't
don't
let
go
that
much.
character build, which I
Do
do no, I
not.
don't mind so much, but also I'm like, I feel like you'd be so much more sad because there's that part where he finds out that Sully's been, like, manipulating him in regards
Yes.
to the relationship with the brother and that
Yes.
he was dead. Oh, that he was dead. The brother was dead.
Yes.
I just don't think I would continue to work with someone like that, not only because that's an emotionally fraught issue, but
Yeah.
also because I clearly can't trust you.
Yeah. Nobody can trust nobody, and they go overboard with that one.
And they do, but they still keep trusting each other. Like, nobody actually takes any action about the distrust.
Well, I like the fact that Drake decides to like not trust Sully, but he trusts the woman. But then we get to that sweet scene where we're going from the church and we're going in the sewer.
Yeah.
That was like that's the shit you go to the movies to see something like this
This was
about.
really funny because they're like, "Go up and go to heaven, go down and go to hell," right? But one goes to heaven, one goes to hell, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. What's really funny is that also in the Tomb Raider, there's a heaven and hell.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it
so
is.
I was like, "Huh,
Now what
maybe
what's
it's an homage because 'cause they're both very,
that's true.
I do not think Uncharted would exist without Tomb Raider. I
100%.
obviously, do you know what I mean? So, like, it's obvious there could be some things that they're calling back to.
And F Lucasfilm for not back in the day taking Indiana Jones when it was hot with Tomb Raider, and
Mhm,
that's all you had to do was do an Indiana Jones game in the same vein of Tomb Raider. People would have loved
mhm,
it. But
yeah.
y'all so busy licenses. Anyway. So you know that whole little sequence is cool, and the woman dies, in the water. He saves her life. Then
Yeah.
she pulls out a gun and beats the shit out of him with it. I'm like, she just died. She just died. He just brought her back from life from
Yep.
death, and she takes the shit and she takes off. So he wasn't even that sad about it, which which kind of killed me. It was just like a thing that happened.
I kinda, like, feel like everything in this movie is kind of a thing that happened.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well,
It's a thing that happened.
that happened. Oh, okay, let's go. So you know,
Which,
th-
like, remember, like, my favorite things about her is that she was like, my dad,
yeah.
I dug up a ancient statue that was worth a lot of money, and he just took it."
Now here's something that I will compliment. Um, Braddock. Uh,
Mhm.
I've never seen this lady before. I've never seen Tati Gabrielle before. But that fight between her and Sully in that Papa John's in Italy,
Oh my
that was
god.
great. I thought it
That
was
was really
great.
when he I just and I honestly thought I do like a well I honestly think all the action scenes in this movie are really well done.
Yeah,
I spent my time in this movie waiting for them to get to those scenes that were excellently choreographed, the fights
yes,
were
they were.
great.
They were.
I like that they show women as being tough without, I feel like,
It wasn't unbelievable, Tiff.
right,
But
and I also and I
because
which is
women
something
normally in these movies be like ballerinas and
I
whooping
don't
people's
like
ass.
movies where where women are really small,
Uh-huh.
and these women are also small, but they're doing the things that, like, are like,
It
I
was
would imagine somebody with those body types would do.
it
They're
was
faster,
Aikido. It was Aikido. They were using
right.
their enemies' weight against
When
them
he
and shit like
punched her in
that.
in the side, I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
that was a solid punch."
When he picked her little ass up and threw her against that glass, I was like,
Yeah,
I would have did that first.
and then, like, so they're all really well done. I would just say that that
They
is
were
probably
believable, and that's why they made it.
that's the next step
Yeah.
on the, uh, like, why I would probably teeter it over into, like, maybe good category, because what you came to see, the action, is
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, it really was. And so they get the key, they get everything, and she double crossed them, and now they have to reboot, you know. And so, th- that's cool. I had no problem with it. You know it was coming. But
Yeah.
back to what you were saying earlier, they got all this money. Antonio Banderas, his character is Santiago, murders his dad with his
Yes.
worker, his Braddock, and you're like, damn, right? And you're like, shit, he's evil than evil. But then she murders him, and I don't know. I think this was a mistake, Tifflebot.
I do too. I do think that your devil needs to be a little charming, right? And
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas has got that. I'm
She
behind
was
him.
a thug, and she
She
murdered him, and that was like a surprising. But I was like,
I was so
he needs to be in
surprised.
this.
Yeah, I agree.
saying,
It's almost like they should have swapped the roles a little bit. I don't even
yeah,
say characters necessarily, but the roles so
yeah.
that like you could understand
I
it
wanted
more.
more Antonio Banderas. He
Yeah,
was,
I think I felt, but also I'm like, that's a pretty fucking great move where they're like, yeah, we're gonna
it was
kill
a
him.
good move, but Antonio Banderas was hitting it in his
He
goddamn.
was doing really well, but it surprised me. It surprised me.
It
Honestly, I
did.
can say I was genuinely surprised. But so then at this point in the movie, things get super linear, in my opinion, because they find the ships very easily.
Yeah. I did
And
like how he threw her off, and she thought that she was like, he was like a little
oh yes.
punk, and he sent her ass in the opposite direction. And I loved how one of the best action sequences as you see in the trailer is the plane. You got to get off the plane, and that's right out of the video game, and boom, 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 and it was great. I saw like the trailer, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be, but it was better in the movie, and they landed on a paradise on a tourist attraction, and I was like, that's perfect because that never happens, right? They're always on some desolate island,
Yeah.
but they landed in a place where they can get a hotel and do their thing. And that's when we see that actor who played Drake in the video game.
Yes, he comes out of the water and like, oh, you guys look like you fell out of a plane or whatever.
It was so
It's like,
heavy-handed, though. Even me, who know nothing about this game,
right? But I like that because it's
he's involved. He's somebody,
I know that man,
right? So, now they got all this heavy equipment. She stole all his equipment. He gave this speech, and now they're going down to get the ships. One thing I like about this, you said he found the ships, where through the clues of his brother. I like how when the Braddock character got there, she was like, "Don't damage my ships. They worth more than the damn gold." And I was like,
listen.
"Yes."
When we sat in the theater right before this happened, he sees the ships, and I leaned over to Mike and I said, "Wouldn't an intact ship from this time period be worth almost as much as like whatever's inside of it?"
Indeed.
And then they said it in the movie, and I was like, oh, I felt so validated. I never felt. I was like,
right.
Smart. I'm smart.
We're talking about the 1200s, right? And it's a goddamn, and it's totally intact.
And it's intact, and it would have floated unless they damaged it. They damaged it,
and it was famous. It was Magellan ships. It wasn't like just some random pirate ship or some shit like that. So,
do we think somewhere this might be a possibility that there's a ship somewhere intact?
100%.
That I'm sad because I'll never be the person that finds it. Not only because just luck, circumstances, but I'm not going to leave my house.
Yeah. So anyway, they we have this action sequences which was totally like wouldn't happen. The ships would crumble under, picking them up and taking them out in helicopters and stuff. And that could bother me that they were doing that. And I was like, they would crumble. You couldn't take those ships anywhere. They would, it's not like they're in Egypt where there's no humidity. They're in,
right. They're rotten.
Yes,
you guys gotta leave. First of all, you gotta get some people in here, man. You gotta get them in here. You gotta help it out. You gotta save it.
You gotta scan
and they were just like, fuck it.
Right.
Fuck it, we're gonna try it. And then they destroyed it. They ruined it.
Both of them. So one scene that one of my favorite scenes was actually in the trailer was actually so funny in the real movie too, was when the guy was like, I'm from Holland, and he was like, I don't know what you said, and they did it a couple times. It never got old to me, the guy who was from Scotland. So he's flying one of the planes, and they do this thing where they the ship gets destroyed, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, and you knew they were going to destroy both of these damn things before it happened.
And I think that was the hallmark of a good action movie, is when the audience is like, oh, don't destroy that house, that car, that 500-year-old ship.
But even when they destroy it, Tifflebot, I'm like, okay, now we're gonna be divers because all that gold is just right there in the water.
Yeah, but then
they came, but
I thought that was really actually good because that actually is what would happen.
Yeah, you can't take shit out of no country. But
Uh-uh.
if they don't know what's in those ships, would they go diving looking for him? You know what I'm saying?
100%. Anytime there's like a ship of that sort, I think that they go down and die.
Did they really see it, or was they just coming for a disturbance?
Did they see a ship fall out of the sky?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. So anyway, so they get nothing but maybe about 5-6 bars of gold.
Which is a lot of money, but it's not nearly that much money.
He shouldn't have gave her that book, that bet. Look, when
there's lots of mistakes happening in this movie. I will agree.
Braddock was hanging on, right, and coming up, he threw the bag on her. I'm like, just take that bar that was sitting on top and
that's what I said. Just bean her with one of the things inside. I mean, like, why are you not? Well, keep the bag.
Keep the bag. So, she goes down, she gets a ship dropped on her, but we see nobody, so we don't know what the hell that's all about. Is she coming back? Is she not? So they get the gold, everything is happy, it's over. And the chick is she's mad because she's driving into the sunset because she thought she was like gonna be slicker than the newbie,
Mm-hmm.
Mark, Drake was the newbie in this whole thing. And I only stayed for one after credit scene, and that was showing.
Oh, I didn't stay for any.
The brother was in jail.
Okay, I did see that one. That happened really
There
fast.
was another one though. And
I
didn't stay for that one. I forgot what it was about. I saw it on the internet. It was another thing. I think I can't remember.
No, thank you. Yeah. Listen, I gotta tell you, Aunt Hollywood, we barely want to go to the theater anymore. Don't you fucking dare make me sit there and
they need to stop that shit. That was some 2000s early shit, right?
But also, like, here's the thing.
Yeah,
it was cool because it didn't happen all the time.
Now
it's just a part of the movie,
right?
That you want me to stay for. Just put it on the end of the movie. I gotta go home.
Yeah. I agree with you. 15
fucking minutes of people that I don't give a shit about. No offense.
100%. So anyway,
bye.
That was it. It was very linear. There was a 100% some enjoyment factor to this. And that's coming from a non-fan. I don't get the games. It's not Master Chief or none of that shit. And I enjoyed it. However, I enjoyed it dummy down. I'm like, yeah, this is a dummy down movie. This is linear. It's not, the shit that I'm used to really.
I think it's an excellent, like, hey, are you hanging out on a Friday night? You want to have a movie on the background while your friends are hanging out?
That's it. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad.
You're right. Right.
I definitely like. Here's the thing,
Holland's definitely the biggest.
He's the star. He shines.
Yes, he does.
But like when you watch this movie, I think throughout the pandemic, there were things that they were like, man, I wish I could see this in the theater, or I'm tempted, but I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
And then this is not it. Yeah.
I could have sat at home and watched this and then really.
I probably would have been happier.
Yes!
I probably would have enjoyed it more if I could have watched it at home.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So that's it, Tiflebot. We came to do the damn thing and we got it done, man. Nathan Drake and Sully and Uncharted and RiRi Jackson and all the rest of the stuff, and Tito and Janet and the rest of them. Oh, shit. So, I think that's it, man. So my name is Montego Bradley. I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. With me is my exquisite co-host, Miss Tiflebot. Say goodbye to the people, Tiff.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
Indeed. So get your ass up now and walk on over to the Patreon. We about to do Tomb Raider, y'all.
All right.
So the party goes on, man. And so until next time, man. Oh, wait a minute. Is this a what did I say? Did I already ask you? I'm so sorry.
You did already ask me. Yes, you already asked me.
I wasn't sure. I'm like, did I? I don't know. So until next time, man, we will be
on
patrol.
All right. I gotta pee so bad. I wasn't gonna wait. All right. I'm like, fuck. We're gonna.